Yeah, that's something that they can definitely do to kind of strategize around helping a favorable matchup into top cut is a genuine and very legitimate play.
Yeah, and it looks like Alex is going first. Remember, he is Glaceon. That's what he wants to do. Although there's not too many abilities that he can shut off on Nick's side of the field.
Yeah, he's kind of lacking there on options to
and
stop.
Wow, these Glaceon decks have not had a good turn one. It has been really just attach, pass, and hope for the best.
Oh my goodness, that's not a good start. You don't want the Sudowoodo with 100 hit points.
100 hit points. This is the one I knew, alright?
Roadblock, the one that came out in Guardians Rising.
So here we see Nick Conocenti start with Magikarp, Trainer's Mail for the Acrobike, one card that we actually don't see in Jose's list.
Yeah, I think they've taken the same core and just kind of tweaked it.
Yeah, I think Jose replaced Acrobike with Order Pad.
Yep, makes perfect sense in this list.
I think Nick might play both. Just kind of a catch-all. Basically, you just want trainers that, that's a tough decision, Trainer's Mail or Trainer's Mail with that Acrobike. And remember, he played the Trainer's Mail to get the Acrobike in the first place.
Yeah, I mean...
But here we go, Ultra Ball off that last Trainer's Mail.
Yeah, that's the one you want. You want a card that can help you get the hand down a little bit here. Would love to be able to... I mean,
this turn's just so scary
it's
for
a
Alex,
reach.
right?
It's a reach. Or is it? I mean, his hand's so full right now. You know, can Nick make the play and get the donk on the go? Yeah,
so it would require him not drawing into double colorless, but drawing it after the Maxis or the Archies.
Pokemon at entering the bench, I don't think I see one in hand, so it's a little bit of solid.
And he actually discards the double colorless with that Acrobike, getting that Tapu Koko, just a card he could play down.
Yeah,
of course, we see that Ultra Ball.
Plenty of options.
His hand's massive. Alex must have mulliganed a few times. And
the worst thing is when you mulligan and you still get a terrible starter.
You want to know the best thing? When your opponent mulligans a few times, and you're like, I don't need the cards because I already have the Maxis or Archies in hand.
No,
that's the worst feeling.
You know, probably even more galling when they're going first.
Yeah.
And you just, when they decline the next mulligan, you just think, oh, okay, my apologies.
But here we go, Ultra Ball discarding the Maxis and the Glade. No need for Battle Compressor right here.
Yep,
and I think he fails it as well.
I mean, doesn't want another Pokemon that he's kind of filling the bench with.
Here's the Rotom Dex.
There it is.
So one thing I actually talked with Josue after the round that we saw him on stream. That turn one, game one, when he played Rotom Dex, he had his one Maxis prized.
Yeah, I mean, he looked
and then
like he had to go for it.
And then he Rotom Dexed. Maxis was back in the deck, and he's like, okay, Tabu Maxis.
Yeah, I think that was the smart play. I mean, that's where you go in so many times in these decks. The Ultra Ball, the failing of it, literally gives him that information.
Special charge, really good right here, too.
Putting that DC back in so we can draw it off a potential Maxis.
Tapu Lele, Wonder Tag. Just shuffling. Already has it in hand, most likely.
Yeah, just making sure it's not in the hand anymore. Given that option. And making sure it's nicely shuffled up.
Shaman for 0, and then versus Seeker, Maxis, Glade. Alright, so he did have to waste a little bit of resources to get through, but double colorless Floatstone spells game.
There, he's got double colorless.
Does he have the Floatstone?
No, he's got 2 double colorless.
I don't think he has the Floatstone.
I don't think he has a way to get it either. This is a really, really close call. I think Nick's assessing with the other 3 in his hand if he can find the Floatstone anyway. He's definitely mulling it over.
Man, this is...
He's not interacting with Alex's hand, though, and Alex's bad hand is probably for the best here.
Well, that's one thing about these Maxis, Archies decks and, like, the Aerodactyl decks.
Oh, double colorless going down on the... on the Magikarp, getting that type of Koko in the active.
Just making it so he isn't reliant on retreating next turn.
Yeah. And of course Premonition, just to make sure that he draws something. He really needs Alex to top deck essentially nothing right here. And leave himself in the same predicament that he was. Alex kind of looking, I mean, little body language talk here. He's got the hands under the desk looking pretty reserved, just watching Nick play out this huge turn.
Happy birthday, Alex.
A very merry unbirthday to you. I think he's probably got a little bit of relief that he's not having to watch Nick basically donk him.
Yeah.
Knowing that Nick doesn't have float stone is definitely relief. As soon as you see that double colorless onto the magic
Ultra Ball off. Oh no, Eevee off the top.
Ooh. Ooh, that's big. That's a big, big help for Alex there.
Now, granted, he still is a turn behind. He won't be able to actually attack this turn.
No, not at all.
But seeing Nick's side of the field, like, sure, he got the Glade out, but he wasted a double colorless to retreat. And he doesn't actually have the Gyarados. Gyarados is one of the cards that's actually better in this matchup than Glade, because Gyarados actually could take the one-hit knockout on Glaceon.
Yeah, he can get there, but he's got to get that Magikarp in the discard somehow as well, the one that's currently trapped on his bench.
Yeah, unfortunately, Frost Bullet could not put him in the discard form because of that ability. The one time where you're...
submerged, you come back to haunt me. You think Alex was actually going to take it, or just leave it there, taunting him, that 50 missing damage?
And there we go.
Maybe he could
pass.
Parallel City himself?
Well, could be an option. I don't think he plays Parallel City, does he? No, he does.
No, the list does have them. We saw Jose using them earlier, so certainly a play. And then he gets to weaken the damage coming out from Alex's side as well. That'll be interesting orientation on the parallel if he decides to go for it.
Now the question is, does Nick have a supporter for the turn to actually take the knockout on the Sudowoodo?
I'm going to go with a tentative no on that one. He's definitely playing this one close to the chest. He's Ultra Balling away.
I believe that's Gyarados and a Maxie's.
Yep, getting those in the discard.
One thing to note is, since Alex did not retreat to the Glaceon, Nick can still use his EX and GX abilities.
Right, so he can still Wonder Tag.
But usually with decks like these, they only play the one Tapu Lele, the one Shaman. So it looks like a Rangaroo would be the option, but with the Roadblock ability from Sudowoodo, it's not actually going to be much help.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem. He is going to evolve, get the Gyarados into play.
Yeah, luckily he realized that with enough time he didn't shuffle his deck, so he's like, oh, wait, I don't want to get a Rangaroo.
Yeah,
let's get this Gyarados instead.
Maybe not. Maybe try and get this Gyarados set up to start dealing the big damage. And the big thing here as well, the Gyarados doesn't need the supporter to be played.
But it does need Magikarp in the discard.
Right.
Which I think there's 0.
Yeah, a Sky Return there from Shaman, actually freeing up a little bit of space.
Freeing up a little space, has that ability for next turn, but Alex, if he's a smart player, which of course he is, he'll retreat to that Glaceon and shut off that Shaman.
Yeah, now he knows it's back there. He's got to be smart about it, got to be careful about it, and I don't see any reason for him not to with that Float Stone already on the Sudowoodo.
Looking off that Sycamore from Alex, he actually got Computer Search, a few Ultra Ball, and then a bunch of Energy. So Ultra Ball gets that Binacle out, one card that I think would just completely throw this matchup out of the water.
Yeah. Yeah, if Binacle comes to play, then things get a little bit awkward.
Second Water Energy for him and a pass of the turn.
Still manually powering up these Glaceons. We saw it actually with Christopher's game earlier. You really want to be hitting these double colorless.
Yeah.
And then, being unable to do that it puts you behind. But as you said, the double colorless, there's already been a few in the discard for Nick.
But here's what Nick wants to see. He gets the Lysander on the Binacle. And remember, that triggers Sensitive Blade, so Glade will be able to take the knockout. And now Premonition rearranging his top 5, preparing his next turn as well.
Yeah, making sure that he's ready to go and stopping that potential setup with the Barbicle. That's a really big deal. That's something he just doesn't have reliable answers to.
But Alex here with the Rescue Stretcher shuffling in the all those Pokemon that were knocked out, and Computer Search getting the Sycamore most likely.
Playing it smart, just keeping his options open. I still feel like Alex is a little bit behind. His slow setup has just not picked up, even after some Sycamores.
Yeah, he actually got the N off that Computer Search.
Yeah, probably wants to keep himself safe, I think. Especially because he can't stop the Shaman. I will say Nick's going to have to be very careful here to not kind of give up something too easily. You know, he does have to keep the Binacles in check, make sure they don't become Barbacles, because his only energy is that double colorless.
Yeah.
As soon as that gets into play, Alex can just sit back and let it happen.
Alright, but off that N, the third water energy comes down on that Glaceon GX. Enhanced Hammer getting rid of the double colorless, and we will see a Frost Bullet 90 and 30.
Yep.
And 30 on the Tapu Lele GX, trying to set up a Polar Sphere GX maybe later on in the game.
Yeah, I mean, could be an option. Just try and, you know, punish that Tapu Lele really quickly. Be more than enough to get there with the 150 coming out of Polar Spear. And that's a nice play to weaken up these GXs. Most of them now are a little bit too big to be taken out by a single kind of Frost Bullet 30 and then the Polar Spear. But Tapu Lele, one of those basic ones, able to be caught by it.
Battle Compressor here from Nick. Very important card because he can actually get the Magikarps in the discard now.
There's one Magikarp.
And I wonder if he actually shuffled in some important resources with that Rotom Dex.
Yeah, he's looking a little bit concerned, I think, about what's coming to the fore.
Or, you know, he just has all the Magikarps and Gyarados in his hand instead.
Yeah, so all binned off with the Ultra Ball there. Alex now taking the opportunity to take a peek through the discard. Really wants to know where that energy is. We see 2 in there of the double colorless. So, you know, he knows that it's going to be hard for him to play it anyway. And that means he may feel comfortable trying to set up this Binacle, knowing he's got some time, turn it into the Barbacle, and then basically stop Nick from attacking for the rest of the game.
Choice Band looking to come down on the Gyarados. Versus Seeker for, I would assume, Archie's getting it out. That other Gyarados as well.
The one that he just discarded as well.
Does he draw the double colorless that he needs?
It's going to be close. Based on the fact he's not slammed it down already, I'm going to give it a tentative no.
Oh, Order Pad. And that is a heads as well.
Yep, he does land the Order Pad.
Could get that Computer Search.
Having a good look around.
Yeah, trying to decide what he wants. So the thing about Computer Search, like, you can get the double colorless, but then you would have to sacrifice your entire hand. I think he only has 2 cards left.
Yeah,
3. Okay. Okay, his hand's actually pretty amazing. There's Sycamore and then a Compressor and an Ultra Ball that you don't really need. Yep. Oh, and a Lele, okay.
Yeah, there's 4. So Tapu Lele's gone.
So that Order Pad was just great. Getting that heads, getting that Computer Search.
Tapu Lele, there's really little to no point holding onto it right now because of the Glaceon GX.
And the fact that all your supporters are in the discard by now.
You'd like to think they're in the right place. So he can comp search.
And yeah, comp search most for sure, getting double colorless energy. Counting out the number of Magikarps.
He's going for it. He's going for it.
There's only 3 down though, I believe.
Yeah, he's fanned them out for us. The other one's under the Gyarados, I believe.
Yeah. And a double colorless on the Glade. Premonition setting up his draws for next turn. Hopefully getting another double colorless just because this Glade will most for sure get knocked out. And looking at the top 5, I don't see one.
I will say, you know, putting the double colorless down onto the Glade, a kind of risky play.
Yeah.
Because it's just going to get knocked out, and then he's going to have 3 in the discard and limited ways to get them back. So, certainly a bold play. Would be nice, of course, to get all that damage down, but so much time then for Alex to heal it off with Rough Seas, you know, bring himself back way down inflict a more reasonable amount of damage and just keep himself kind of in the game.
All right, sensitive blade, 130 damage coming out from Nick. Alex right away using that rough seas, healing 30 from all his water and a lightning Pokemon. Maybe you could heal Tapu Lele or Tapu Koko.
Yeah, that's why it's not been put down. Yeah, just an immediate retaliation Frost Bullet there.
Yeah, unfortunately, he just had it attached to a Rangaroo there. Didn't have the access to charge up another Glaceon, and if Nick actually draws into double colorless, he could just take away all of Alex's pressure.
Yeah, that's going to be the big thing here, is getting that Glaceon gone, and it's kind of surprising to see Alex not setting up the Binacle in these turns. Just been more focused on that consistent, steady play.
Might just not have access to it.
Right, I mean, he's been in his deck a few times now, and to see that one Binacle be like ignored, well, once it got knocked out, that might be it for that kind of line.
All right, Order Pad, Tails, Acrobike here, gets the Versus Seeker. But again, he already had the Sycamore in hand.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he has that Shaman that he Sky Returned earlier, but not able to actually use it to a full effect just because of Glaceon GX.
Right, and the other thing as well is if he plays the Shaman down, that's his bench space gone because of Roadblock.
That's true.
So
that also shuts off the ability to max these Archies again.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, he can't Sky Return for Glaceon. He can't put it down to get it out of his hand because it's in his hand. You know, he needs...
Yeah, and his deck's looking very thin, maybe 9 cards at most.
Well, that's how these decks that use Archdace and Home, Axis and Ball Trick. I mean, if you don't go through 30 cards in your first turn, you're probably behind.
Oh, can't use Shaman.
Yep, Alex, giving in the Dikembe Matombo. No, not in my house. Little finger wag would have been nice there, Alex, but you can't win them all.
Luckily, the judge on hand able to catch that. That is a prize penalty as well. A new rule that they have started introducing and enforcing. Anytime you draw an extra card, it's a prize penalty, and it just gets worse from there.
Yeah, that's actually quite a big mistake from Nick. Getting hit with that penalty is really kind of unfortunate, especially when you're using one prize attackers like Gyarados, like Gallade, like Tapu Koko. Yeah, actually every prize becomes a lot more valuable.
Yeah, and also that filled up a bench space. And he has 2 little cards to actually use the Sycamore if he still has it in his hand. Right. So he just had to pass.
Yeah, he's really hurt himself with that one. Alex inside the field, very, very controlling.
Oh, there's another EV2, so he can start charging up another Glaceon as well.
He's going to put it down with the double colorless behind it, though.
And there's the Binacle as well, too.
Yeah, it's time. It's time to lock him out of this game, I think. The Rough Seas bring Glaceon back down to 70 damage. One more Rough Seas, actually, and it will just be able to tank a hit from this Gyarados, from this Gallade.
Yeah.
So, you know, unless he can find the play this turn, which he was struggling because of the Shaman wanted to try and get the draw into the double colorless. Now his draw options are limited.
All right, double puzzle of time, though. What a draw here from Nick.
Yep, that's going to get you your double colorless energies indeed. But still, I mean, you still have to wonder. It will tie up the prize count if you can knock out this Glaceon.
Yeah, well, he has that Gyarados on the bench with that Choice Band, dealing 180 damage.
Yeah, that's going to be his big play right here. The problem is, though, is I think Alex was quite smart in how he put the double colorless down on the Eevee.
Yeah.
Just so he can guarantee a Glaceon the following turn.
And there is the puzzle, getting back double colorless and a special charge, putting 2 double colorless back into his deck.
You have to remember as well, is if Alex decides to, or if Nick brings something like the Gyarados up to attack, he's going to put that Tapu Koko on the bench, and Alex is still going to be able to take a prize.
Yeah.
Because it's ready to be Frost Bulleted. It's only clinging on with 20 more health, so it's not safe at this given moment.
And then you have that Shaman with 30 on it. That's just 1 Guzma Frost Bullet away from being knocked out.
Right, it's so
Then you have that Tapu Lele.
It looks like Nick's going after the Binacle.
Wow.
He is that scared of the Binacle.
Yeah. Well, when your deck doesn't play any Field Blower, any Stadium, no Hex Maniac, if they get it out, you lose.
Yep. I mean, clearly that's the win condition that Nick's focusing on, that he won't be able to play Energy and he won't be able to attack. But at the same time, he just has to watch out for the fact that Glaceon's kind of been running through him right about now. We haven't seen an attach. Oh no, we did see the attach. We saw the double colorless onto the other EV. But the Glaceon on Alex's bench is pretty ready to take a knockout this turn.
Yeah, and there's another Binacle as well, along with another Glaceon. So this Glaceon will not be able to knock out the active Gyarados, but that's actually kind of okay. This active Gyarados is only doing 150 damage. 10 short of being able to knock out this Glaceon, because the Choice Band is stuck on the bench one.
Right, and it was curious to see that Nick didn't promote the Choice Band variety when he attached the double colorless to it. You know, that would be the play. Alex opting actually not to take the knockout on the Tapu Koko.
Kind of spread out a little bit. It's going to be there. He can't change. He doesn't play Acerola. No Max Potion.
Well, I think what he's setting up for here is the potential Guzma play. So he can just knock out. I mean, he could have done it anyway on the Shaman, but maybe trying to do that kind of slow and steady, build it up, and then take multiple prizes from the bench.
Well, the way you figure is, the way the board state is right now, Nick cannot take a knockout on this Glaceon. Oh, but the Rough Seas finally coming down, healing the Tapu Koko. And the Gyarados as well.
Both of them able to take advantage of it, and I think that's where you see Alex spreading his damage to the Tapu Lele and the Shaman.
Yeah.
Because they can't heal off.
But that also begs the question if he should have just taken the knockout on the Tapu Koko last turn.
Yeah.
Maybe hoping his opponent forgot Rusty's for a second turn in a row.
We only did it once.
Yeah.
It's fine, it's fine. But the problem is, I mean, these Gyarados are just going to start falling over and over again. And Nick still needs to get through 2 Glaceon, while realistically Alex can win in 2 more attacks, basically, because the Shaman's not going to be able to get away.
The first Seeker for the Guzma on the Shaman.
Yep.
And he'll be bringing up that fresh Glaceon with no damage.
Yeah, that's really, really nice play from him there.
Frost Bullet 30 onto the Tapu Lele, take the 2 prizes, and he has his game plan set up. Just a single Guzma can take the knockout on the Tapu Lele for game.
Yeah, did Alex take...
Did he what?
Did he take 1 prize? Or 2?
2.
Or they stacked. They were stacked.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, he just needs more knockouts, and he still has the option to GX, which we've not seen yet.
Yeah. GX attack very powerful, especially with the early spread damage from Frost Bullet.
Yep. It's going to be the Gyarados in, and the pass reveals the VS Seeker.
There we go. VS Seeker, Guzma taking the knockout, and yeah.
The Tapu Lele was on the bench ready for the picking, so Alex kind of declared, hey, I'm just going to grab it with the Guzma, and then I'm going to win the game.
And that's all that was to it for game 1. And we really just saw that he wasn't really able to capitalize on Alex's poor start.
Right, I mean, essentially with how bad his start was, it felt like Nick still went first, you know? And he was still unable to beat it out.
Yeah, not hitting the way to retreat the active, and
huge.
Just having to use that double colorless, be a turn behind essentially, and then only having to evolve that Gyarados, and then not hitting the 200 damage. And with Alex, he was just able to quietly come back. Rough Seas really helped him out and pulled out the win there.
Yeah, I mean, really, really smart play for him to keep that going as well. I liked how it came together. And I like how he applied a kind of pseudo pressure with the Binacle.
Yeah.
Because he kept bringing the Binacle up, or putting it on the bench, which, when he saw how scared Nick was of it, he would always Guzma it. He would always waste a turn knocking out this basic, and then, you know...
Alright, I'll heal 30 more off my Glaceon.
Yeah, like, it's totally fine with him to...
But that's what happens when you play a card that literally just completely shuts down your deck.
Right, and I think if Alex can rush it out this time, control the stadium with Rough Seas...
I think he's definitely going to look for a double Binacle.
Early doors?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that's the smartest play.
Yeah.
If he goes second, you know, he'll have to wait a little bit for it. There comes a point where if there's only one double colorless, he can get rid of that with the enhanced hammer, and then there's no more that can be played. He then basically asks if there's a stadium.
And we know there isn't.
Yeah. He basically has to find out, is there a stadium in here? I'll let you draw through your whole deck until you get there.
It actually reminds me of the old matchup with Giratina EX. That's Chaos Wheel, being able to shut off the double colorless like special energy from being played. Yeah. Where the only way around it for like Night March was to attach the double colorlesses early to your Joltix or your Pumpkaboos. And then they do that and they're like, okay, well I hope I have enough to knock you out. But with Alex playing 4 Enhanced Hammer, that's the only strategy that Nick has is kind of a moot point.
Yep. Well, we see the starts.
Sudowoodo start again.
Yep. It's not Alex's favorite start, I'm pretty sure, but I'm pretty sure the Tapu Lele isn't going to be Nick's either. The one thing to say, though, if he does get the Barbicle in play, and he's doing the lock, because of the way Nick has to play the early turns, he's going to be so far down on what he has.
Yeah. Ultra Ball discarding that Gyarados and the Maxie's hidden ball trick, already loading up his discard and getting that Oranguru, super important.
Yep, the Oranguru is going to help him with the draw up here.
Trainer's Mail also coming down for Nick. And remember, he's just looking for a way to thin out his hand so he can play that Archie's or Maxie's. And I don't think, like, I lost my train of thought.
I mean, at least you admit it. I think he is making a big risk, though. I mean, again, I'm very focused on Barnacle Barbicle.
Yeah.
I think if Alex can get a better start, maybe grab something to fill the bench with them, get a Glaceon on the go as well. I mean, he got really lucky to get the Floatstone on Sudowoodo early last time, which I think is something he'd like for again. But, you know, we'll have to kind of wait and see how that one shakes out.
Acrobike here, and gets the other Acrobike. Gets the computer search, though. All right. Computer search usually means, okay, if I have computer search, I have Maxie's or Archie's. No real other way around it. It's just such a great utility card for these decks.
Yeah, you can grab whatever you need to thin your deck to the point of being able to play the Maxis, or thin your hand, rather.
He did have to Ultra Ball away that special charge.
The special energy is just the key to this game for Nick, and that's pretty brave of him to just admit early on that he's just going to go with what he goes with.
Well, that's the one concession with these decks. You try to play everything that you can play from your hand.
Right.
Special Charge is one of those cards where you can't really play it from your hand turn 1.
Unless you put the double colorless in.
So it's one of the cards you have to discard just to get your engine going.
Yep. Yeah, I can see the Gallade off the Ultra Ball.
Yeah, so he gets the Gallade, and then he's just going to computer search the Gallade away, get the Maxis.
Yep, that's going in. I like how he picks up the discard pile and leaves the Gallade there for him. Just respecting the play.
And an interaction I love with Gallade is Oranguru, just because Premonition, look at the top 5 cards. Well, I need this card this turn. Okay, I'll play my hand down, instruct, draw 1, got it.
Yep. Yeah, you just need one space in the hand to make your Premonitions really valuable. There's one card you need and you're just ripping it off the top of the deck. Great, problem solved.
No energy or a way to retreat that Tapu Lele, and here we go. Eevee, energy evolution.
Could be
gets that Glaceon.
It's a Glaceon that he needs, I think. He's not going to be able to Frost Bullet this turn, but he's really not doing anything to the next turn anyway. So he may as well just go and take his time, set up all the good stuff right now, and then explode on his next turn. He does have the double colorless in hand, so that could be nice for him.
And again, does he have access to those Binacles?
I think Binacle's just a fun Pokemon to save, to be honest with you.
Binacle.
Barbicle. Isn't he a pirate captain with the seas?
Fun Pokemon to say, one ugly Pokemon to look at.
Oh, yeah.
It's literally like a rock with some hands coming out of it.
Hey, whatever works, man. Whatever works. Don't shame Barbacle. You shamed him, and now 3 of them are in top cart. Look what you did.
Floatstone coming down on the active Pseudo Widow, and then Alex plays that N. Do we see Binacle? No, just a retreat and a pass. And now it's back on Nick. He got the Premonition shuffled away.
Yeah, he doesn't have the same cards he thought he was going to have.
But here's the Energy Lotto. Ooh. Such a great utility card.
There it is.
Being able to find those double colorless energies.
He actually had 2 available to him, so just pick one for the Gallade. Really, really easy play to make there, I think.
But now, does he have a way to actually get the Tapu Lele out of the active spot? That's the thing.
Well, that's a bigger issue. We do see a Tapu Koko, which is going to help for later. That's going on the bench. He is, of course, going to be limited to just the one more. Next to Roadblock.
See a Versus Seeker in his hand. Does he have Guzma or something the like? Nope. Just a Sycamore discarding 4 cards.
That's a really, really big Sycamore to give up some of those resources. But if he needs it to at least try and hit the Floatstone and such, then it's probably worth it.
An Order Pad here from Nick.
Looks like he failed it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trainer's Mail as well. Look at the top 4.
He's desperately looking for that Floatstone, isn't he?
Yeah, get another Order Pad. No, we see a Choice Band. I think 2 Sycamore as well. And he opts for nothing. Ultra Ball. Discards that Oricorio and I believe a Magikarp. Fails to search as well. Just looking to try and get this Tapu Lele out of the active with a Rangaroo.
Yeah, I mean, he's running out of options now to get it out the active. He's kind of using all his tools. He's used the Supporter. He's got to play his hand down. He is
Choice Band Instruct for 2. Or no, Premonition first.
Premonition, yeah.
You know, the better play.
It doesn't... I mean, he has 1 in hand. So he's just making sure that the 2 he grabs off Instruct are going to be worth it.
But I don't think he actually has a good way out of this.
Doesn't even grab the Instruct, just passing.
And there's the double colorless Cynthia. Alex is sitting pretty right now.
Yeah, Alex is in the driving seat real quick after that. Basically able to just power up as much as he possibly can in this turn. Since he's already got Glaceon powered up, anything else is going to be on the kind of the backup schedule.
Yeah, you can actually Frost Bullet 90 on the Tapu Lele, 30 on the Glade. That way you could just take the knockout on the Glade with Polar Spear if you choose to. Ultra Ball, finally a Binacle comes down.
It's about time. Been promised a Binacle. He still needs to get Barbacle and a Stadium, but... Yeah. I mean, the thing is, knowing that Nick, or guessing that Nick doesn't have the Stadium, probably makes this play a little bit more comfortable for him, but he did want to make sure he had the fully powered Glaceon to start applying the pressure.
Yeah, and I think what would have been killer there is having the Enhanced Hammer as well.
Right.
But here is the Battle Compressor from Nick. It's the card he put on top.
Oh, there's the Magikarps.
Maybe he didn't Instruct because his hand is Archie's.
That could be it. But then he was just gambling on what gets played.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what his hand was. Wow.
Yeah. Able to pull his Gyarados out.
The next level plays right here, coming from Nick.
Yeah, that was a big one. Now he's able to draw up. His deck's getting super thin again, though.
Super thin, and the fact that he hasn't taken a prize yet.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem. You see Alex laying out the Magikarps there for him.
Order Pad here. Does this get Floatstone?
It does. Does get the heads.
Does he have access to Floatstone? Yep, there it is.
There it is. Yep.
And now does he have the double colorless? Because if he has double colorless, he could take the knockout on Glaceon.
Yeah, but if he can do this, then it gets really exciting for him.
The other thing he has to worry about, okay, double colorless there, Floatstone. But now if Alex goes Barbarical, Rough Seas, double Enhanced Hammer, he wins.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
So that's what has to go in Nick's, like, the back of his mind right now is, all right, I'm in a very good position. He has no attackers, but I might lose to just him playing an evolution card.
Yep,
and
he does Ultra Ball.
Ultra Ball.
I think the other card in his hand was Tapu Lele, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tapu Lele, Sycamore. All right, he needs the enhanced hammers though, because if not, Nick can still just Guzma up the Barbarical and knock it out with one of his 2 attackers.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's going to be a big thing here. I would really like to hit the rough seas as well.
All right, this is a big Sycamore. Ooh. Does he hit what he needs? Remember, Stadium, 2 enhanced hammer.
That's a big ask off a Sycamore.
It is.
We are going to see 2 of them, Ultra Ball and double colorless.
Ultra Ball, I think you get another, like an Eevee or a Binacle, either one, but yep, Binacle, there we go.
Binacle. I think that's the smart play.
Yeah.
Just so if he can weather the storm here, he can still get to a point where the energy's gone and his opponent can't play energy.
He might be all in on this plan as well, just because Glaceon will take, one enhanced hammer.
That's one that he really needed. He's going to just get the Tapu Lele in the active and start swinging for some damage.
All right, there we go.
Oh!
Yeah, there's no Stadium in play, so double color straight down on that Gyarados.
Just having it ready to go as well. Oh.
Trainer's Mail here. Does he find puzzle time? All right.
Just a single puzzle.
So it's interesting, because you could try to take out the Barbarical if you have the Guzma play. But you could also just take out the Lele, go down to 2 prizes. But then it still forces Alex, like, okay, Stadium, double enhanced hammer.
Yep, did you see the premonition there from Nick?
And yeah, he's just going for the knockout. Enhanced hammer off the top.
VS Seeker. Is he pulling it? There's the Sycamore. Discarding the Guzma. Here it is. That's rough seas. Yeah.
Does he have the enhanced hammer? Energy Evolution. Glaceon.
I don't think he really... I mean, he wants the other enhanced hammer just to lock up the game. But for now, I think he can get away with one more turn of not having it, because the Gyarados can't get an energy on it now.
That is true, yeah.
Yeah,
so he won't be able to knock out the
I mean, he just needs to find a way to get back the... get back at that. He's not going to be able to leave any of his, like, sticking damage on this Gyarados either, because of the rough seas now. But...
So, reading Barbarical there.
Yeah, Nick... We've only seen 2 enhanced hammers so far?
I believe so.
So he's still got access to them. Unless, of course, they're in the prizes. If Alex left him in the prizes, that's a problem. But at the same time, he can kind of just leave that Gyarados trapped in the active right now until he's forced to Guzma around it.
Well, with the amount of cards in Nick's hand, I would think he would have double puzzle time.
Yep.
But no! Just a pass!
Oh, VS Seeker, the Guzma.
This is game right here.
Yeah, he can't. The energy's going to be removed from the board. Pretty comfortably by...
Polar Spear there, takes the knockout on
That 30
Glade.
damage from earlier, so big. He just can't play any more energy.
What does Nick do?
If he doesn't have a Stadium, he can double puzzle. I mean, that's what he's trying. He's going to get a Sycamore.
Just gets back the thing. He's going to deck himself out.
Yep, he's going to go out the noble way.
Wow.
As the hand comes down. Alex Hill pulling it together at the last second. A beautiful play there to basically set up Barbarical.
Yeah. Thing we didn't see game 1, he still was able to pull it out. And this game 2, all Nick needed was a Guzma to try to just take the Barbarical out, and then he's in control. Has this Gyarados swinging for 200 damage.
The full power Gyarados.
And he just can't get there. Out of all the cards in his hand, he did not have the Guzma, the Lysander, and the enhanced hammers